Hey everybody, this is Dan from the Denim Adventures. Got a pretty big morning ahead of me before I have to go into work, and figured I'd share it with you. So I brought out my head strap today so I can do the work while you're watching, and we'll get to it. Got some cinder blocks set up. Trying to get some water. See if I can do it. Pulling up some water from the well. Got my trusty bucket. Put it in my other trusty bucket. Got some water. I got my dirt. Got my Portland cement. Got my water. Got my cinder blocks. Got a reasonable pad. Still curing. Rained last night, so it's gonna take a while to cure. But yeah, gonna use the mortar to help level the bricks. Gonna use the level to keep me going. Gonna do my best. I am not a skilled professional at this. I realize that this brick laying is an artwork, and that's why bricklayers, apprentice for a long time and they learn a trade. This is not a trade I am proficient in. I have never done this before, but I'm gonna make it work somehow. I'm gonna go 3 to 1. 3 scoops of sand, minus sand and soil, to 1 scoop of Portland cement. Let's get that on there. Let's really have to break up some of these, obviously, but let's make sure this shovel full is a nice and heaping one. There we go. Done a lot of work the last couple of days. My back's really starting to feel it, but let it slow me down. I just have to work smarter, not harder. So if that means actually slowing down a little bit, then that's smarter and not harder, as my wife would say. She loves me. She takes care of me, and she worries about me. So it's not a bad life, really. It's actually one of the nicest things I've ever had. Okay, so this being soil cement, it should take a lot longer to cure or dry than regular cement. From like a 24 to 48 hour period, depending on thickness, to probably a 4 to 5 day period, depending on thickness. Now this is just going to be my barrier wall for water. I'm going to see what I can do about building on top of it soon. Depending on how structural how deep I have to build the mortar and how structural I feel about it. Not looking forward to building before it's cured, but I am definitely on a time crunch. It's Friday today. I'd like to be in the house operational power by Thursday of next week. I have high aspirations. Round 2, I only got 5 bricks in with that mortar. I know that the base is going to take longer, more mortar, because I'm leveling and I'm building a base for the blocks. There's 3. Once I get to the second level, it won't take us half as much mortar. So, I'm probably going to have to get more sand and soil, but that's 6. Need the good shovel. Get a little more water. I will say that this is how I'm planning on shutting off the well. Once I get the rocks and gravel probably about 6 inches away from the ground level, and flush up, so that it's the dry rock, I'm going to build as much mortar as I possibly can, soil cement, build a frame, and try to jam it in there all around that, so that I have a nice kind of clay cement looking area for the well, so that it's not just that black tube. Alright, hopefully this is enough mortar to finish off the last the last couple of bricks. We'll find out. Hey everybody. So, I'm sure if my mortar was a little bit more wet, it would have stuck beautifully to the sides of the stone and probably been better all around. But I didn't. Because, you know, I was using, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. So, if this stuff falls apart, that's just it. If anything on the land actually falls apart, or, you know, something bad happens, I only have myself to blame. So, all I'm going to do is fix it. I'm not going to sit there and beat around the bush about it and say, oh, well, you know, if I would have gotten this guy to do it, or if I would have done it this way. No. I screwed up. I should have thought about it. That means I need to learn something I don't know and keep moving forward. So, as long as you can say that to yourself, probably more than once, you know, you can do anything. Okay, see if I can fit one more block in here. I'm not sure I can. So that might be the problem with not measuring. But, you know, this block by gumsh can go a little bit further back. Okay. So, okay, so at this point, I mixed the rest of the dirt and everything I had into really thinner mixture than I was using for the base of the mortar. Ooh. Come on, baby. There we go. And now I just want to see if I can pour it down some of these holes. This is very soil cementy. Just gonna try to do that to a couple of the end ones, or the corner ones. Not go all the way to the top, because I still have to mortar in the second row, and I want the second row to kind of join to the top, or to the bottom, sorry. So I'll leave a gap open so that when the second pouring of actual soil cement with all that, and I'm sure most of that comes out, then that way I'll be able to finish off the holes that are left over. And when it sets, it should set as a top and partial bottom cement stack. So, at least that's the plan. Won't be able to do the second layer today. I have to, the only reason I did this is because I only had enough soil and sand left over to be able to mix this, and I thought this was a better idea. I'm going to have some imperfections to work out with the second layer, but, you know, I'm sure I'll get it. I might chip some bricks just the way that I want them to and stuff like that. Take some time with it and it'll all work out. That'll put me above ground level. This is just to help with stability for when I bring in, if I get above ground level, I can start using wood to work with, instead of having to do this whole thing out of cement, which would have costed me way too much money. And noticing my cement skills probably wouldn't have been very good in the end. So, my bricklaying technique. This will all be buried. You will not see any of this unless you are inside it. I know it doesn't really matter if it's visually a cue or not, but because the stability is the biggest thing. But doing it properly so that it won't fall down. Have I done that? No, probably not. But if I can do the rest of the things the way that I have it in my head, it'll all support itself and each other, and it'll work out. And if it doesn't, like I said at the beginning of this video, if it doesn't, well then, I'm the one that has to rebuild it. I'm the one that screwed it up. So I'm also the one that's going to fix it. So there's the initial base. I'll get on round 2 tomorrow. Today, I might actually, sift some more sand and soil. Once I'm done putting all the blocks in place, I will be wanting to fill them all. So I'm going to need to probably sift all of that pile and go through all of it. The rocks will obviously help me for the well, but that whole pile will probably be the grout to finish off. Hopefully all of this. If I need to use that sand over there by the well, I will, and if I need to use more soil, well then I'll get it. But so far so good. First layer down, some corners filled in a little bit. Looks like the original part of it's holding the weight properly right now. Holding the bricks aren't teeter-tottering too much. Hopefully by the time it's done, it's reasonably stable, and then by the time I've poured all the cement that I could possibly gather around here in, it'll be secure and stable, and I'll actually start to be able to build from on top of that. Well, yeah, that's my plan. That's done for today. Power and water bunker. I know it seems really odd, but in my head it's going to make a lot of sense once it's done. Alright.